My results on creatine have been there. They've been there. I've seen the results on creatine. I've finally gotten them. And so I had to make this video to talk about it. Even despite the sleep deprivation that I've been experiencing for like going on a month now for various reasons, despite that, I've still gotten results. There are things that you have to do when you're taking creatine to get jacked, to get your muscle building process going. So I'm going to talk about 12 mistakes you need to avoid if you want to maximize muscle growth. So I got to talk about it here. So the first mistake to try to avoid for the best before and after results on creatine is one, not taking it consistently enough, which was my first mistake right there. And this goes with all supplements. To really see the results of most supplements that you buy for any kind of benefit that you're buying it for, you have to give it 2 to 3 weeks. A lot of people will give it like a couple of days or about a week, not seeing results and then think it's not working, want to return it. I've made that same mistake. Creatine is no different. And one of the biggest reasons for that is because a lot of people make the mistake of taking creatine on just the workout days. But the supplement works by gradually saturating your muscles with higher levels of the creatine, which takes time. And if you skip days, your muscle stores never reach full saturation, which reminds me I need to take creatine after this video is over. Includes even on rest days. Take creatine every day, workout days, rest days. This is gonna be how your muscles get fully saturated. And then you start seeing what creatine can really do. But then the second mistake on top of what I just named is not drinking enough water. Creatine increases the volume of water that your muscle cells hold, which is great for muscle growth and performance. But then if you're not increasing your water intake, you risk dehydration, muscle cramps, and even headaches. And so the best way to handle that is aim for about 3 liters or 100 ounces of water when you're supplementing with creatine. And if you're training hard, so if you're really like the gym bro type, and hardcore workouts, you have a mission of getting jacked, or you live in a hot climate, or both, then you want to drink more water than that. That leads into the third mistake, which is mixing creatine with the wrong liquids. And so that means that if you mix it with things that are acidic drinks like orange juice, lemonade, or even hot coffee, that'll break down the creatine into creatinine, which is a product that your body can't use. Your body needs the creatine, not the creatinine. So at that point, you're basically throwing your money and your supplement down the drain. So just make sure that you're mixing your creatine with plain water or a non-acidic beverage. Mistake number 4 is not loading creatine properly or overloading. So there is a lot of confusion about the creatine loading phase. Some people skip it entirely while others take way too much, thinking more is better. And so the recommended loading phase has generally always been taking 20 grams of creatine, split into 4 doses for 5 to 7 days. Now that can help saturate your muscles faster, but it's not required. If you don't do that loading phase and you take the recommended dosage, which is 5 grams per day, you'll still fully saturate your muscles. It'll just be slower. If you want to do it faster, do the loading phase of 20 grams of creatine for 5 to 7 days, split it up into 4 doses throughout that day. The fifth mistake, I kind of alluded to this earlier, is expecting instant results. It's a powerful supplement, but it's not like the magic answer. It's not a magical pill. And if you go into it with the expectations of immediate results and gains and increases in performance and strength, you're going to be disappointed, and that's going to lead you to not take the creatine consistently, get off the creatine, stop using it before it can actually start working for you. So don't expect instant results. But now that's not to say that it takes a super long time to work. It will work fast. It'll give you results, especially if you've never used creatine before. The results that you'll get from finally being on it will come fast. It won't be like, in one day, but it will be noticeable in like the first week. I remember the first time I took creatine, and I was wondering, it wasn't creatine, it was a product that claimed it can increase your fast twitch muscles. And I took it, I'm like, shit, this shit is actually working. I was wondering, what is so special about this product? And then when I looked at the ingredients, creatine was a large portion of the ingredients in this product. But at the time, I didn't know what creatine was. So I just read it, and I'm like, okay, creatine, cool. I don't know what these ingredients are, but whatever, this fast twitch supplement powder is working. So I kept taking it, not knowing that it was a creatine that was giving me those results. That was my first experience on creatine. Mistake 6 is not pairing creatine with resistance training. And it does work best when you are working out while on the creatine. Creatine helps your muscles regenerate ATP, which is basically like the energy currency for explosive movements. But you need to challenge your muscles for it to work. So a common way to do that is just follow the structured strength training program, focusing on progressive overload, or subscribe to my channel to get weekly workouts and weekly workout motivation. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to self-promote my channel real time in this video. But am I though? Am I kidding? I'm not kidding. Subscribe. Mistake 7 is taking creatine on an empty stomach. And this will make you experience, possibly, because it doesn't happen to everybody, but some people will experience nausea, upset stomach discomfort, and so on when taking creatine on an empty stomach. And I had a friend who said that happened to him, and so he never relied on creatine. So the best practice is to take your creatine with a meal or after your workout with a post-workout shake or a post-workout meal, whichever one you do. If you can take creatine on an empty stomach, you don't experience any kind of problems, take it on an empty stomach. That's just the solution and a tip for if you experience stomach discomfort, because that is one of the potential side effects of taking it. So that doesn't mean that you absolutely cannot take creatine on an empty stomach. Those are just actions to take if you do experience problem issues taking it on an empty stomach. Mistake 8 is believing you need to cycle creatine, because the perception has always been is that taking the creatine, get your results, and then stop taking it for a week or two to reset your body. There's really been no official scientific evidence showing that cycling creatine offers the maximum benefits for your body. All stopping creatine will do is cause your muscle stores of the creatine to drop, and then you'll lose the benefits. You can't take creatine year-round without cycling off. Just make sure you're staying consistent if you're trying to get the maximum benefits. Mistake number 9 is using low-quality creatine products. Not all creatine supplements are created equal. The most researched and effective form of creatine is creatine monohydrate. It is safe, it's affordable, and it's proven to work, and that's the one that you're going to want to use, creatine monohydrate. Generally, doesn't really matter what brand or company is selling the creatine, as long as it's creatine monohydrate. But then you do want to do things like check for third-party testing to ensure purity and quality. Mistake number 10 is not measuring your dosage. Just giving your creatine the old eye test, eyeballing your dosage, can lead to either taking too much or too little. And like I said, generally the recommended dosage for daily is 5 grams. Overdosing can cause stomach issues, and underdosing can mean that you don't get the best quality benefits from the creatine. So make sure that your scoop of creatine is always level. And if you're taking protein products with creatine in it, because a lot of protein products do have that, the protein that I'm using has creatine in it, make sure that you're accounting for how many grams of creatine are in that protein, and then take that into account when you're taking your actual creatine product. And make sure that you're getting the right dosage no matter how you're consuming your creatine. Mistake 11 is ignoring your diet and your nutrition. Creatine is powerful and does work, but it cannot make up for a poor diet. And it'll tend to make people think that creatine will do a lot of the work and they don't have to really be on top of their diet the way they need to because they're taking these supplements and they rely too much on the supplements. If you're not eating enough protein, carbs, healthy fats, and calories, your body won't really have the ingredients to really build the muscle that you need in order to progress and enhance your physique. And relying on supplements like protein powders, which is the most common one, and creatine, which is what this video is about, is easy. It's easy to get caught in that trap of relying too much on supplements. It happens to me a lot too. It happened to me in the past at least. Because eating can be hard, especially when you got to eat a whole lot of food to gain muscle the way you want to, and you got to eat outside your comfort zone, and then you got to cook, and cooking can be annoying. Then you got to wash dishes, or you got to go out and buy food. All that can be time-consuming, annoying. When you can just fix a quick shake and drink it. Drinking is no problem. It takes like 10 seconds. And depending on what it is that you're drinking, you're getting some of the nutrition that benefits workouts and muscle building in that beverage. And the last mistake is believing that creatine is only for men or bodybuilders. It's not just for men and bodybuilders, because it can be used by men and women of all ages. I am making a series of videos on the best type of nutrition. Believe it or not, vitamins will help you build muscle. I have a video right here explaining what vitamins do help with muscle growth and why and how they grow muscle. So click the video right here if you want to watch that. Thanks for watching this video, and until next time.